Hello, and welcome to episode 46 of Let's Talk Immigration. Um, Sorry, I'm a minute late. If you're joining me on watching this later, because it's recorded, thank you for joining and welcome to you also. So, let me see here. First thing I want to talk about, mandamus lawsuits. We're still filing mandamus lawsuits. If you are stuck in an unreasonable delay, you need a mandamus lawsuit, okay? There's a lot of talk in the forums, Telegram groups about how, well, the government's going to oppose and fight back. Well, that's okay because we happen to be experts at fighting back also, okay? So if the government files a motion to dismiss, you can oppose it. So reach out to us if you're interested in a mandamus lawsuit. It's one thing I needed to talk to you about. Second thing I wanted to mention, DV 2025 is coming up. Just in 2 to 3 weeks, the website's going to change and everything for the State Department's diversity visa program, and they're going to start accepting empty entries for DV 2025. If you are a former winner, that doesn't mean that you can't win again. I talk to people all the time that have won more than 1 year, okay? And sometimes the case number's too high, or there's a problem with the embassy or something. Yeah, that's the website that will be updated when it's time to enter. Question I got this morning is a passport required for entry? No. There was a period for a year or two during the Trump administration where they required a passport to enter the DV lottery. They don't require it anymore. Actually, through our Freedom of Information Act request, we found out that that passport rule is one of the reasons that is responsible, that's gone now, that was responsible for why they overselect so many DV selectees. You know how they only have 55,000 visas, but then they go tell 110,000 people that they're winners. That's not true. You're not a winner. Half of you are not winners, okay? Because they only have 55,000 visas. I think that they should stay away from using the word winners and call them selectees, because you're not really a winner if only half of you get the benefit, right? I had some other stuff to talk to you about, but I cannot remember right now what they were. So I'm going to jump into questions. And yeah, that's my Telegram if you want to talk to me on Telegram about something. I'm going to jump into questions and answer questions. And if you have a question for me, you can ask it on Facebook or YouTube, and it comes up automatically. If you ask it on Telegram, my team will paste it here to where I'll see it. So let me jump in here. There's a Facebook question. You can ask it on Facebook. Okay. I hope you have a nice day. Thank you. Please send a letter to the court regarding the 2020 case, writing in it that the case will not be passed on to our children. That's true. A whole year has passed and life is passing. Please do something because you, a lawyer, defend rights and believe in them. Please. Thank you. Okay. The reason I'm a lawyer, the reason I have not lost my law license is because I follow the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and I follow the law, and I don't try to circumvent the law. In the case of a pending appeal, we wait for the outcome of the appeal. We do not try to maneuver around that process. This is the process, okay? So while I understand your frustration and your eagerness to get closure and a result and get the outcome that we want, I can tell you this letter is not the way to get that, okay? I will not be contacting the court to say, what's taking you so long? I will not be doing that. And if I find out one of my clients is doing that, we're going to have a conversation where I will be screaming at them because they will be probably the thing that puts us most in jeopardy of not having the outcome we want. Do not interfere with the court's processes. Do not suggest to the court that we have a better idea what their priorities should be than they do. We don't do that, okay? We are good plaintiffs. We are the good guys. we're the good appellees in the case of the Circuit Court of Appeals. Okay. Boata, I'm not sure how to say your name. Hi. Okay. Anna says hello. Hello. Okay. Salma has a question. I like these good questions. Okay. Could you talk about how appeal affects DV cases and the old cases that have been in the same situation as Gomez? What happened to them, and really how long cases take to get the final decision after appeal? Do they take more than 5 years to give us the last decision? Okay, you use the word cases here like 3 or 4 times, and I am trying not to use that word and telling my team, do not use the word cases. Here's the problem with that word. It means 2 things. It means the diversity visa application, or it means the lawsuit. And I don't know which one you're talking about. Okay. If you're talking about the lawsuit, wait, how long did, there are not lawsuits like this that happen every year. Okay. This was a very unique lawsuit. The appeal was very unique. We can't look back at other identical cases because this identical thing has not happened before. The first time in the history of the DV program that the State Department was compelled by a judge to reserve unused visas until after the fiscal year was in 2017 in the Amakrami order by Judge Chutkan. And that case is still pending right now. It's actually, there's a stay on that case pending the outcome of the Gomez and Goodluck matter before the Circuit Court of Appeals. So we've procedurally passed that case up. We're in front of them in line now. But there's not another case that we could point to indicate what the timeline is for this case. We just have to be patient and find out. There's some things we cannot know. Okay. Emily says, how do you think the possible government shutdown will impact government agencies such as Department of Labor and Department of State? Will it cause more delays for applications such as PERMs? Great question, Emily. Okay, so I was working in an immigration law firm in the 2018 shutdown, and was it 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019? It's right around December, January. And I can tell you that it really impacted the Department of Justice. The pending lawsuits that we had against the government, they lost their lawyers. Like their lawyers said, well, I've been put on furlough, so I'm no longer working on the case. To where I had to call their supervisors when I needed to do something. And some of the judges were sympathetic to the government, and some of the judges were like, it's not our fault you're not paying your lawyers, right? So a government shutdown can have drastic impacts to all government agencies. I found that it didn't affect State Department in a way that got on the news, because if they put a consular officer on furlough, I'm not sure really how that works, because they can't go get a night job doing Uber in another country, right? So which is what a lot of the government workers in the U.S. did. They actually got second jobs when the government was closed down. So also, State Department employees don't speak out against the State Department. So how the 2018 shutdown impacted the State Department is sort of a mystery from the side of the employees. We didn't hear. It did not stop things. It slowed them down more than anything. It slowed them down. But that's because the shutdown didn't last that long. With every week that shutdown went down, what continued, more and more things got worse. They would close another agency and more people would be furloughed as they ran out of money. So that is a risk of impacting immigration, but there's so many other risks right now. It's not the one I'm most worried about. That's what keeps me up at night, worrying about all the things that could impact immigration journeys, not just tomorrow, but 6 months, a year from now. And so, like, sometimes when people are not in a hurry to get their immigration benefits, I'm like, you realize this may not happen, like, in the future. If Trump and the Republicans are elected and they get the White House in 2025, you're going to see family-based immigration and diversity visa immigration like disappear. That's their plan. All the Republicans, if you look at their platforms, especially DeSantis and Trump, they are wanting to curtail or end family-based immigration. They call it chain migration, and they're wanting to end the diversity visa program. So Republicans are a big threat to the future of immigration. That's not what you asked about. You asked about the shutdown. I'm sorry. Department of Labor, I'm not really sure how it impacted the Department of Labor, but I'm sure it did. Slows things down. Not ideal, but hopefully it won't happen. Okay, do you expect the visa bulletin to move for F4 category anytime soon in this fiscal year? I am so frustrated because I want to give a different answer. I do not know. I cannot predict the visa bulletin, and the information I have suggests it won't move very far. Here's the information I have. The State Department continues to prioritize non-immigrant visas over immigrant visa applicants. As long as that priority stays in place and they do not meet their annual allotment of family preference visas, particularly F4, they're just continuing to build this huge backlog. And as long as they're building that backlog, that visa bulletin is not going, if it does move, it's not going to move very far. So your petitioner, who is inside the United States as an F4, that's a U.S. citizen, your sibling, they need to be talking to their member of Congress about this. Visa bulletin not moving. If the hundreds of thousands of U.S. citizen petitioners would contact their member of Congress all at once, this would be fixed. Okay. DV 2020, por favor. Hi, Lumi. Hola. I have no update. We are waiting for the outcome of the appeal for the Gomez DV 2020 situation. We need to wait for the outcome of the appeal. Okay. DV 2021 plaintiff. I guess that means good luck. Could be go. Hooray. There are 22,000 good luck, 1,500 go in total. It turns out there are only 31% will receive visas and 31% are applicants and their family members. It's not a question. I think that it could be looked at that 31% will receive visas, but I actually don't know if that's completely accurate anymore. The reason is a couple things. Some of the good luck plaintiffs have found other paths to immigrate to the U.S. Some have decided to go other places. Some have died. Okay. So that 31% number continues to increase. Another reason is in our motion for summary judgment, we asked Judge Mehta to expand the number of visas he reserved from 6,914 to about 10,000 because of errors he made in math due to, he didn't make a math error. Judge, you would never make a math error. I think you were misled by some numbers you were given, and it caused you to come to the number that you came to. And if you look closely at our motion for summary judgment, you'll see where we explain that math. So we're hopeful that it'll be more than 6,914, hopefully up to 10,000. I don't represent the Go plaintiffs, so that's not my issue. So there you go. How will the number of visas be distributed? By numbers? We do not know how they will be distributed. We haven't even beat the appeal, R1 summary judgment. Only consular officers decide who is issued visas. So that's really the short answer is consular officers are going to make this decision. Now, if you're going to say, who gets the next interviews with consular officers, because some of the good luck plaintiffs have already had interviews, right? But if you're going to say who gets the next interviews, I don't know. I think it's going to be up to the individual consulates, and they may each do it a different way. The reason I say that is because of a filing that was done to Judge Mehta and Judge Chutkan about the updates in the IT system, and they said they've already deployed cases. Well, I don't think they were talking about good luck. I think they were talking about Gomez and Ray, but it showed Gomez and could have been Gomez and Ray and Go. Yeah, but because those cases don't need summary judgment. But it demonstrated that they want to leave KCC out of this. I think KCC has proven throughout the pandemic, but not because of the pandemic, to be a complete failure. And they have done everything they can to remove responsibility for the State Department from KCC so that that consulates will be, for instance, document collection. DV 2020s had to send documents to KCC. That doesn't happen anymore. Now embassies collect those documents directly at interviews. So I think that it's going to really be up to how embassies do things. It's not, you say by numbers, absolutely not. Never in the history of the DV program have DV cases been issued in case number rank order. And that's not going to start because they're reserved visas in the lawsuit. Nope, that won't happen. 2023, yes, that is what year it is. It is September 20th, 2023. If you're talking about Diversity Visa 2023, that program is over. They have exhausted the allotment of 55,000 visas per year. I'm talking too fast, probably. I think they've issued more than 56,000. There are a narrow sliver of people that were just recently issued Diversity Visa 2023 selectees because they were already in administrative processing. The screen didn't say refused, it said administrative processing. I don't even think that there were a dozen. I don't know how many, but it wasn't that many people that benefited from that. And an unfortunate side effect of that is it's letting people think that the DV program is still ongoing. And really, no, those people had already been issued visas. It's just there was a computer glitch. There was a last minute thing that they weren't able to either print the visas or change it in the system or something like that. It's the best way to explain it, I think. So DV 2023 program is over. Why I still get 100 messages a day about the DV 2023 program? I don't know. It's frustrating. Focus on the future. DV 2023 is over. In your experience, do you think more time the DV 2020 takes, the better, or what's your thoughts? Hi, Russell. I think that there's an argument for that, but I don't see a reason to speculate about it because speculating won't change the outcome. Just have to wait and see. Okay, AV Gamer says, our case is F2A with priority date October 2018. When will we expect to interview in U.S. Embassy, Islamabad? Okay, well, what's wonderful about, shouldn't say wonderful, that case is now current in the October 2023 visa bulletin. Because of retrogression, it wasn't current, and now it is current. So that means simply that the visa bulletin is not a barrier to that case being that interview being scheduled at Islamabad. Now, here is what is an obstacle: the visa backlog. There's 350,000 visas in the visa applications that are already DQ, already paid the fees and found documentarily qualified, and they're waiting for interviews. That's system-wide, but that means that there's lots of people that are waiting for the same thing you are. And so it's not one of those things where your case is current, so you get the next interview slot, because there's lots of applicants that want that interview slot. We do mandamus lawsuits for that situation. well, you can contact me or Raphael directly about that. Okay. About DV 2020, why all this delay, according to your experience, does it have a positive impact on plaintiffs? All this delay is caused because the Biden administration appealed our victories before DV 2020. So you're talking about Judge Mehta. Judge Mehta granted a summary judgment, and the Biden administration appealed those orders. That's the reasons for the delay. If you're asking how long the appeal takes, that's not being delayed. Appeals take a long time. And I discourage the narrative of blaming the judges in the court for what the Biden administration has done. Okay? That's not a narrative that we want to do. Will it have a positive impact that it's taking so much time? We will find out, right? I would hope that, there's sort of a saying that, like, things you wait for, it's worth waiting for. So let's hope, but can't really know. Eduardo says, why does the Biden administration care about DV 2020 and 2021 legal immigrants? What he means, and this is obvious from what he said, I guess, is why are they fighting them? Okay. And the answer is a little confusing. It involves bureaucracy. There's a section of the Immigration and Nationality Act called 212F. If you want to Google 212 and then parentheses F. And 212F gives the President of the United States the authority to exclude from entry basically any non-citizens that the president wants. He can do an entire group like he did with his Proclamation 9645, sometimes called the Muslim ban. Or he can do what he did during COVID with Proclamation 10014, extended twice, and then also extended by the Biden administration. Let me see here. Maybe I misspoke on the way. That's a little more complicated than I just made it. Presidents have discretion to exclude non-citizens from entering the U.S. Under the law, under the Immigration and Nationality Act, it did not give the State Department discretion to refuse visas. Okay? So the State Department has interpreted 212F to give them authority to exclude people from getting visas. That's not what the law did. So the State Department is very invested in this appeal of Gomez, Goodluck, and Ray and Go because, all the associated DV cases, because they want to expand their authority. The Secretary of State is basically a bunch of old white guys that have this power hungry thing where they want as much authority as they can to exclude immigrants. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what's going on. So, in fact, there's an anti-immigrant group called CIS that just had one of their new proteges publish an article in the American Conservative this week that was saying, down with the diversity visa program. Don't let spouses of green card holders come to the U.S. and all these awful things. This person worked for the State Department at a high-level position for Secretary Blinken all the way up until September of 2021. So that just tells you that the State Department leadership has an anti-immigrant cabal up there, and those that's who we're up against. So, but what they want to do, it's not so much they're anti-immigrant, is they want the power to be able to exclude people. Like the president can exclude people from entering, the State Department wants to be able to exclude people from issuing them visas. It's insane. What scares me most about this is, let's say the Biden administration wins and then we lose. Gomez loses, Goodluck loses, Ray loses, and The real losers are the future, because then you get some monster clown like DeSantis or Trump back in office. Well, then they will have new authority to do something that they've never been able to do before. Consulates will just close. They don't have to issue immigrant visas anymore. That's what the State Department's fighting for the right to do right now. And it's very disturbing that the Biden administration hasn't stopped that effort. I've lost my place. Eduardo says, who benefits from this bad faith to put an end to DV 2020 and 2021? 3-4 white guys that run the State Department that don't like immigrants and like want to keep their power and authority to do stuff and expand their authority. That's basically it. Definitely not the United States, because the United States right now could use workers. We could use immigrants. The United States needs immigrants. Okay. Halana says, hello. We have been waiting for a long time. We are very worried about this. 2021 BN 2020. What answer should we wait for? Please give a clear answer. When will someone's answer come? Halama, you use the word we as if I know what group you're in, and I don't. I don't know if you're a 2021, 2022. If you're a good luck plaintiff, a Gomez plaintiff, whatever. If you're waiting on the outcome of the DV appeals, though, we just have to wait on what the 3-judge panel for the Circuit Court of Appeals for the District Court of Columbia, to see what opinion they issue. And we cannot interfere in that. We just have to wait for it to happen. Okay. Lots of good questions. But it looks like that's all of them. Whew. It's a very intense 30 minutes there. I get a lot of questions on Telegram and WhatsApp lately from people that have lawful immigration pass, but they're saying, hey, can I come to the southern border for asylum? Or is there a way to seek asylum from Tehran? Or is there a way to seek asylum from Kabul? And the answer is you can only seek asylum either at a U.S. port of entry, and now you have to use an app for that called CBP1, or you can seek asylum from within the United States. I don't really consult with people about asylum who are not inside the United States. So just giving you a heads up on that if you're planning to reach out to me about that. So, okay. That's all that I have. So let's wrap this up. If you have any question I didn't cover, there's my Telegram, or you can email our office or call us or whatever, and we'll see what we could do for you. Take care. Have a good week. Bye.